They don't think about other people, they think about themselves. The last one then, and I think this is the main one that often breaks marriages, and the main one that often breaks relationship, and this one is the main one. Hi, what I mean is the kata one, like, is the strongest one that really makes or breaks relationship. And what is that one? Hi guys, it's me Ogechi. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be sharing with you men and women that you should not go into courtship with or even marriage. Guys, this advice is meant for people who describe themselves as Christians, and I mention Christian for a particular reason, so that no one that is not a Christian can comment on my video. And it's also because as Christians, you have some prerequisites and things that you should actually put in place before you get into this sort of courtship that leads to marriage. You get me? Okay, so I've written some of them, my points down, and I'll be then looking down and talking to you guys about it. So in making this video, I've done some research, and in most videos that talk about this, I felt like some of them are more or less pointing the finger at the other person rather than looking inward at the person that is deciding who to choose. And so my video kind of looks at both you and the person that you're looking to marry or go into courtship with. So when deciding who you wish to marry or go into courtship with, I think it's so important that you look into yourself as a person and the qualities that you have that are good, that you want the other person to reflect or to promote. And it's also important that you look at the qualities that the person that you're going to go out with or someone that you wish to marry has, that you want to to reflect on your life. So what I mean by that is that when you are jotting down your list of men and women, type of wife, type of husband that you wish to marry, are you thinking about yourself? Okay, sorry. Are you thinking about yourself and ask, all these things that I've written, if this other person expects it from me, can I deliver? If you cannot deliver, then you have to ask yourself, but can I learn? These are some of the questions that you need to ask yourself. So I'll be sharing them. People that you should not marry or go into courtship with, and the same is true in the opposite way. Okay, so let's begin. The first one I mentioned is Mr. Potential. Mr. Potential is the one that always say, I have a dream to become like this. I have a dream, like I have a dream. We are not Martin Luther King. No, he had a dream, but the difference between his dream and many people that say, I have a dream, is he was working on his dream before he died. Now, if you meet Mr. Potential who is not working on their dream or what they want to become, it's useless. It's useless to go into a relationship with that person. And I'm not talking about financial potential. I'm actually talking about the person's goals in life, spiritual goals, and what is it called? I would say other goals, not necessarily financial, just other goals that people do have in life. So for example, if someone says, one day I'd like to be, let's say, I like to help out people in orphanages, or someone, I like to help out people in certain areas. First of all, you need to ask them, like, what are you doing to help now? Because you don't really need to have an orphanage to help people. You can actually start going to the people that already have orphanages and start helping the children there and now. There's nothing like I have a dream to go into orphanage or help the motherless babies or fatherless babies. I have the potential to make impact in the life of the young people who are around you, but yet you are not helping them at the moment. You don't need money to help these people. You need your mind and advice to help people. Okay, so, and your hands. Like, guys, I did my this like hold on, let me not digress, but I am telling you, if someone has a desire to help out someone and they're not doing it, when do you think they're going to start doing it? Or they say, oh, don't worry, one day I'll help you in doing this, I'll help you in making this. When at the moment you ask them you have to reflect what are they doing at this moment to reflect what they want to do in the future. Now, sometimes people don't know how to get to their future. If you do know, then give them the advice. Then let them see if they are going to follow the advice. The next one is Mr. Burrow Pose. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't mind like someone lending me something and I'm using it. But what I do hate is when people then don't have anything and then they are giving something, they take it as if it's their own and then don't return it, or they take it as what's it called? They use it to deceive others to thinking that they own it. That really does annoy me, and I think people that have that kind of Burrow Pose mentality are not good because they are all a risk. What they will do is always take, but never give, and they are very deceptive people, I find. I use a lot of people's stuff, but I'm not going to be going around bragging as if it's my own. If someone asks, I'll tell, yeah, it's not my own, I took it from this person, but then doesn't it look good on me? You get? So you need to be careful of people who often brag on things that they don't own and then use it to actually demise other people. You need to be careful of those ones. The next one I have is Mr. or Mrs. Defensive / blamers. These are type of people, if anything that happens, they have a reason for, hold on. They always have a reason for their behavior. So you catch them doing something that is not right and you tell them not to do it. There's always a reason. Or those who blame their issues on maybe their poor health, like they do something wrong and they blame it on either mental health, learning disability, my father died, my mother died. So listen, every person in this world has one problem or the other they are struggling with. It gives no one right to then use their own bad circumstances to justify doing evil or being bad. It makes no sense. There are certain things that I do get, like certain things do affect people's behavior and life, which is fine. But when then a person always uses that as an excuse to defend their bad behavior or defend their sinful behavior, that really does annoy me. And that's the people that you should not marry, because when you go into the marriage, that's exactly how they're going to be. They're always pointing the finger at the other person, but never at themselves. They always attribute their problems to something outside of themselves. This type of person you cannot change. Okay, you cannot change this type of person. This type of person is that person that you always be frustrated with and say, just admit that you did it. Just admit that you did it. And that leads to argument every single time. And these people don't take responsibility. These are Mr. Blamer and defensive. And when I mean defensive, I mean people who use lies to defend themselves. Most of the time when I say to people you are defensive, I mean like you use lies to justify your actions. So, and the ones that blame is those ones that just point the fingers at something else but never at themselves. They are not responsible. Avoid them at all costs. The next one is the emotional people, or the emotionless. There's people who are too emotional, and there's those who are just got no emotions or don't show it. When you marry this type of person, the emotional needy person, you will be always wanting to please them. They will always need you to please them. They can't survive on their own. Anything that happens, they're like, you're hurting me. Any slightest thing, they'll have issue with it. They will cry. I never like cry babies. I don't think I even cry so much. Like, for me to cry, that thing must have definitely affected me so much, and I've thought about it. And I don't like it when people always use this pity stories to get like, emotionally manipulate people. These people that require emotionally needy are very emotionally manipulative, and I don't like them. It's simple. This is me. I don't like them, and I don't think you should stay with people like that, because you will end up being emotionally exhausted and investing so much of your emotions to them, and then never getting back. Now, the emotionless is those ones that don't really show care on certain things that they should show care on. I mean, I get it. Sometimes you don't even know how to react to situations. That's different. But the emotionless are those ones you have to be finding out what they are feeling. Those ones that don't show their emotion is the ones I'm talking about. I have no time to be finding out what you are thinking. I'm the type that wears my emotions on my face. If I'm angry, you know it. If I'm happy, you will know it. Like, and I don't like it when I have to kind of figure out someone's emotions or how they are feeling. If you don't tell me how, I'm not going to know. Talk. Don't be quiet. I don't like it when people do silent treatments. That really annoys me, and I hate it. That's why I never in my life marry someone who has that kind of attitude of giving always silent treatment. There are certain times you have to be quiet, and not necessarily as a silent treatment, but just let the other person do what they want to do and not talk. But if it's something that then is consistent in a person where you have to figure out their emotions, that is just emotionally draining, and I ain't got time for that. So people that are emotionally unavailable, you should avoid these people, because trust me, like, it is exhausting trying to find out. I mean, I had a friend like that she wasn't emotionally unavailable. Sometimes me and her would be speaking, right? And then for some reason she stopped talking to me, and I have to go, like this when I was younger, I had to go and find out, why are you not talking to me? What did I do? Now that I grew old, I realized how emotionally draining I was, because I never know how to please this person. Like, what happened? Listen, I'm the type that like communicating my emotions. So I also would like someone who communicates their emotions. And this is the reason why I'm saying is you have to reflect on your qualities and the things that you like in yourself, and then seek for that in the other person. The person may not have exactly the same thing, or the same level of emotional happiness or emotional behavior like you, but they have to meet you somewhere halfway. And then the next one is Mr. or Mrs. Independent. If you are the type of person that's like saying, oh, I'm independent, stop lying to yourself. No one is independent. The same way the birds are not independent of fruits and air to fly on, you ain't independent of anyone. Stop it. Stop fooling yourself. The reason why I mention these independent people is because when someone is so independent, it's almost like there is no need for you. Do you understand? It's almost like there is no need for you. Why do I need to be in a relationship with someone who can do everything for themselves? I don't see the purpose of that. So I am the type of person that like depending on people. I enjoy depending on people for some things. I enjoy relationship that kind of seek for something from other people. I enjoy those things. And I hate it when someone doesn't, like when I feel like I'm not needed in a person's life, listen, there are so many things I can't relate. I can't relate someone who is often doing things off on their own and feel like they don't need your permission for things, or do not share what they are doing to ask for your advice. Now, on the other hand, if you're a Miss or Mr. Independent, especially Miss Independent, most of them I find actually marry people who use them. It's sad, but it happens. They often marry people who are using them. There is no reason why you should be buying, let's talk about females for now. There's no reason why you should be buying things for a man that has not bought anything for you. No, it's a two-way sort of things. There is no reason like for you to be feeling like, yes, I'm independent, I can give you this, I can pay for your house, I can after paying for those things, believe it or not, they're not going to marry in most cases. And if they marry you, you'll still be the one to be the provider. And I don't mind providing where there is a need to provide, but I am not going to be the one that will always pay for things and feel like I'm being used, I'm showing independence. That is very foolish. And this is the reason why I will not marry someone who believes that women should be, who promotes so much of independence in women or even in men. I enjoy depending on people, and anyone that I marry, you must also be trustworthy to be depended on. Unless if you're not trustworthy, then I will not depend on you. It's simple mathematics. The second to the last one is, actually, it's not, the third to the last is Mr. Lustful or Mrs. Lustful. Being lost, I'm talking about L-U-S-T. All of us get lost in so many things, but if you always have someone who is often lusting after you, my dear, your type of relationship will be solely based on that. If they lusted after you when they first met you and they're still lusting after you now, that is your relationship will be based on lust. Okay, it will be based on very objective, like sort of things like your sexual being, and you don't want someone like that, because if that person if you attracted the person through lust, your relationship will be based on lust. So you do not want to you don't want to marry someone like that. Trust me, you would end up regretting it. The next one, second to the last, and this one is very dear to my heart, is the unhelpful people. I mentioned this topic a little bit on the first one that I mentioned in terms of Mr. Potential. I cherish helping people. I am a helpful person, and I know that because it's in my behavior. It is something that is natural to my being. I have then seen people who do things half-heartedly, and those who speak that they help but do not put it to action. And often find this type of people you know very well at workplace. Anything that someone says, if I can help, listen, I'm the type that helps. So I cannot afford to marry someone who doesn't enjoy helping other people. It doesn't matter what it is, I enjoy helping. My dissertation was based on helping behavior. And that's how deeply I am passionate about helping people. This is a quality that is within me. And anyone that I marry has to have similar qualities. You must have that quality of helping. The idea of thinking of someone else, and helping behavior also generate no, it builds up generosity. Generosity and helping behavior kind of go a bit hand in hand. You have to be generous with yourself to be able to help others. This could be through money, this could be through actions. There's different ways you can help someone. So if you're a helpful person, don't afford to marry someone who is unhelpful. Because that person will not even help you in house chores as well. They don't think about other people, they think about themselves. The last one then, and I think this is the main one that often breaks marriages. And the main one that often breaks relationship. And these are This one is the one, is the main one. Hi. What I mean is the kata one, like, is the strongest one that really makes or breaks relationship. And what is that one? It is someone who you cannot influence. If you cannot influence someone when you are courting, you should not marry this person. What I mean by influence, I mean like, the number one you should always avoid is the person that you cannot influence. If you cannot say something to someone and the person follows the instructions, you must avoid this person at all costs, because you're not going to change that person. If the person, for example, develops bad behavior, you have no way of changing the person. You must be able to influence a person for you to even be involved in a person. I will talk about this particular topic in different videos, but if you cannot influence someone, do me a favor, do not be with that person. If you can't influence the person, whether positive or negative, I don't even care. If what you say the person does not listen to, this influencing means the person listens and acts. Okay? Let's say, for example, the person is always leaving kitchen things, like the kitchen dirty or never washes their stuff, and time again you have told them to wash up their stuff and they never do it. When do you think they're going to do it? When you marry? No. You must marry someone who you can influence change in. I know people say it's God that influences, which is great. God speaks, but God uses you to speak, and if the person cannot hear from you first, how am I going to hear from God? You're the first thing that God has between them. So please do not marry someone you cannot influence. Listen, that is the number one thing. When people stop listening to you, when your person doesn't take your advice, don't take it. Don't. I'm telling you for your own good. A person that you cannot influence, a person you cannot change, is a person that doesn't listen, is a person that cannot be taught. An unteachable person is the worst person you can ever be friends, relationship with. That's simple. So if you cannot influence a person, don't bother, because you're not going to change them. Okay? Your ability, you can influence a person by talking or by your action. I'm someone who can be influenced for positivity and also for negativity. Anyways, I wouldn't lie. People influence me badly or good. So you must marry someone who you can influence. If you can't influence someone, do me a favor, sit down, find someone else, because in marriage it will get worse. Okay? And these are sort of my things that I think many people do not look into when they are getting married. So do yourself a favor, find someone that reflects the good qualities that you have, and someone who has even a better quality that you have to marry, because you guys can then counterbalance each other, promoting the good, not the bad in each of you. So I hope this video helps someone in choosing the right partner and the right relationship. Yeah, I think that's it. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye.